there's some common GI myths that we hear about. Now, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say the myth. You're going to tell me the science.
Okay.
Fiber fixes everything and gives you perfect poop.
Half true. Fiber fixes a lot of things. It feeds the bacteria in our gut and allows for transit to be altered. Whether if it's too much transit, if it's too much fiber, then you can get diarrhea. But if it's sufficient amount, then it'll help your stool firm up and you'll have those perfect poops.
Yeah, and there's soluble and insoluble fiber, right?
Correct.
The soluble fiber can lower your blood sugar, lower your cholesterol.
But will
Insoluble
constipate.
fiber, right?
Yeah, insoluble will make it go through faster.
Make it go through faster.
Correct.
You that perfect poop where you don't even have to wipe yourself.
Correct.
All right. Second myth. Probiotics fix everything.
Another myth, false. Probiotics fix a lot of things, but not everything. If you are immunocompromised, it can become an overwhelm. Probiotics are really pills that we have created of certain strains of bacteria, and they don't contain everything, right? So, a lot of probiotics can't contain a bacteria called Akkermansia. And Akkermansia now is just by itself and its own probiotic because it is something that helps to maintain the mucus lining of the gut. So now by itself, Akkermansia is found. The pendulum probiotic, people have created Akkermansia in a strain by itself. So not all probiotics are created equal, and they don't all fix everything.
If there's anything I hope you guys are taking away from this particular episode is the fact that you've got all of these molecules that interact with the environment and interact with each other, constantly in communication, which can lead to physical manifestations, not just of illness, but physical manifestations of health. Like what you just heard her say right there is this bacteria actually stimulates an inflammatory response, which leads to mucus production that is healthy for the gut. And so just understand that your body's in constant communication, and this is what leads to health, but it can also lead to disease. Another myth, irritable bowel syndrome is just anxiety.
Ooh, myth for sure. That is all false. Irritable bowel syndrome is a disorder of gut and brain interaction. So stressors from the brain, like psychological stress, physical stress, can cause your gut to be altered, the motility to be altered, and how you perceive pain and how you perceive bloating. So it is a disorder of gut and brain, and we have to work on both to fix IBS.
Another myth, poop should always be once a day.
Ooh, normal poops can happen anywhere from 3 times a day to 3 times a week. So as long as you are evacuating and feeling empty after you poop, you're doing fine.
You're good. Another myth, if you're not bleeding, it's nothing serious.
False. So blood can obviously just be hemorrhoids, or it could be inflammatory bowel disease. It could be cancer. It could be rectal cancer. And it always warrants an evaluation with a colonoscopy.
All right. Another myth, shit don't stink. Poop shouldn't smell bad if you're healthy.
Oh, no, all poop stinks. I mean, I have smelled it all, okay? And I cannot tell you once that someone's smelled like roses, even though we all think that our shit don't stink. No, but it does. It does. Everyone's does. And it's a fermentation of, byproducts of what you've eaten, right? So if you're eating foods that contain a lot more sulfur, it smells like rotten eggs. But that's because it contains sulfur, right? Or if you had too much protein, right? If you're like on a super keto diet, you can expect your poop to smell like sulfur. So expect that, and that gets stinkier. So but you know what? I've yet to, smell anyone's that smells like roses. So no.
It's totally normal to bloat after eating every day.
True, it is normal to bloat because once you do eat, your body does something called accommodation, but you're not supposed to bloat a significant amount. It depends on what you eat. Certain fruits and vegetables contain a non-digestible sugar, and they're called FODMAPs, okay? And because they don't get digested in the small bowel, they go to the colon and ferment and cause gas, so you end up bloating after eating.
One of the things about medicine that I hate is all the acronyms.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is a FODMAP?
A FODMAP is a fermentable oligosaccharide, disaccharide, monosaccharide, and polyol.
And what does ferment mean?
Ferment means to break down and produce gas.
Cool. So, again, a lot of these times what you guys are hearing, what you're going to hear online is you hear people say, oh, just try a low FODMAP diet. And I find it hilarious because the people that are offering that advice don't even tell you what a FODMAP diet actually is, right? So if I were to ask you what's a low FODMAP diet, what does that look like?
So a low FODMAP diet is trying to have fruits and veggies and grains that are lower in these fermentable sugars. Okay, so these fermentable sugars are naturally occurring. So think about like in cabbage and kale and all that, they have something called fructans. Okay, fructans are not broken down in the small bowel. So when you eat like a cabbage or a kale, you likely feel a lot bloated, right? And you fart a lot. And so it's because it's going to the colon where it gets broken down by the bacteria there. So there are other non-broken down sugars called polyols, right? You think about like your fake sugars. They have anything that ends in OL is those fake sugars, right? And so those are all things that are high in FODMAP. And when people eat them, they can cause bloating.
Farting.
Uh-huh.
How do people generate farts? Is it gas production from bacteria in your bowel? Is that
So farts are produced with two things: transit of gas that's normally there and production of whatever is being fermented in the gut.
so? Farts are healthy.
Yes,
So
you should fart.
So you should have no problem farting in front of your spouse.
Correct.
But like, how long should you wait when you first start dating somebody before you fart in front of them? And what is your
Ooh.
best explanation if you do fart in front of them? Do you talk about FODMAPs or do you leave that out?
Okay, I'll tell you from my personal experience. One, you want to vet this person, right? Like, if you think that this person is the one, it's a good test. It's a good litmus test, right? Like, can you fart in front of them? Can it be after a full meal of whatever you really liked eating? If it was like a high FODMAP food, high steak food, high broccoli food, and then you farted. One, you gotta have to own up to it, right? And
Right.
two, you gotta vet them. Be like, "Ooh, let's see their response."
How do you own up to it though? Do you just say, "Hey, I just let one loose"? Do you say, "I did
I mean,
one
it's.
cheek sneak"?
I think it's like,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
what do you do?
One, it's audibility and smell, right? Like if it smells like death, you're gonna have to own it, right? Like especially if the other person didn't. And audibility, right? Did they hear it? Like, did you just rip one? Because if you did, I don't think you're gonna be able to be like, that was a bird, that was a dog. Like, no, it wasn't. That was you, right? Like, did you hear it? If you didn't hear it, I guess you could pass it off. For example, if I'm in the endoscopy suite and obviously there's a patient that I'm scoping,
Yeah.
and if I've passed gas and I'm like, oh, I'm not.
You
gonna
don't have
get
to admit it
I-
because
I
you're
admit
scoping them.
No, I'm scoping them. I'm like, God, this patient is awful. Like,
Can
do
you believe
smell
that?
this? Can you believe them? God, and like they've got CO2 gas being used, that's being expelled. So I 100% blame it on the patient.
100%.
100%, because then otherwise the anesthesiologist, the nurse, the tech, everyone's gonna be like, really? That was you? Like I can't believe it. But
It's
yeah.
so weird. Like the farting thing is so weird to me because sometimes, like, my wife would be like, "Why don't you go in the bathroom to fart?" And I'm like, "So what do you want to do? You want to go to the bathroom, fart, and then drag it all the way around the
Trapped in
house,
there.
all the way out,
Trapping.
right?"
That's Dutch ovening her in a bathroom.
Right. I mean, well, like, what? I mean, if I go in there and fart and shut the door, then I got the fart stank all over my clothes,
Yep.
and I mean,
Yep.
like, there's just like, I just think farting, you just got to let it go. One of the reasons I started like paying for myself to fly like first class, like across to different countries, is because like I want to fart in peace, bro. Like I just want to let it
Yes.
go.
Mhm.
Like hopefully the flight attendant doesn't walk by me and offer me a drink when I just let one go. But actually, I was on the way home from Nashville yesterday or the day before, and I was sitting first class, and I don't know, I ate something with some FODMAPs or some shit, and like I let one go, right? And I kind of like did like one of these. I was, the plane's like,
Uh-huh.
shh, and I'm just like, tss,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
tss, tss, and then it's like, tss, right? You're just like, oh crap, right? I'm like, oh crap, like what's going on here? And I'm hoping because the guy next to me has his AirPods in, so he doesn't hear me. Thank God, right? But then the flight attendant's like, oh sir, can I get you something else? And I'm like, nope, I'm good. Like, hurry up, turn around, go the other way, right? Anyway, I don't know. Like, farts are fascinating, I guess.
They are fascinating. You fart more when you're on airplanes because of the abdominal pressure building up.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh my God, what a myth. Myth bust. Well, okay, so you do fart more on airplanes.
You do fart more on airplanes.
That is why.
Yeah.
Oh my God.